brothers in GMS Louisiana Saints, the New Orleans camp, with another pre-camp lesson. But before we get started, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakudash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach well, and peace and salutations to you sincere Aki Yahweh, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe, being represented until the end. Shalom. And with this pre-camp lesson, it's going to get to the fact that Jacob and Esau never meant to be together or dwell together, because recently you had this situation with this football player named Chad Wheeler, who he looks like an Edomite, so we'll leave it at that for now, who was dealing with an Eve, her so-called black woman girlfriend, and he beat the shit out of her twice. And when he saw that she didn't die the first time, he tried to kill her again. And hey, that's just the sentiment and the spirit that Esau Edom, the so-called white man, has had towards you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans from the womb. And it's no different today. It's going to be no different when these race wars kick off. And these Edomites are out here in the streets putting you jakes to death, especially you women who really want to cleave unto these Edomites and have those little tear babies.
This Genesis 25 and 23. It says, and the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manners of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger.
Hey, as I said, two manner of people shall be in thy womb, or two manner of people, and your manner is your disposition. You can clearly see that Jacob and Esau have a very different disposition, as we'll go into. Jake is a plain man that dwelt in tents. Pretty much everything he needed. All Jake likes to do is chill and have a good time, pretty much. But Esau's a man of the field, a cunning hunter, and about just killing shit and being a demon. And it said they shall be separated from thy bowels, and they will never be together. So point blank period, it was sent from the womb. Captivity, during colonialization and slavery, all the way up until today. You always see that friction. You always see Edomites killing Jakes, and whenever you see Jakes getting around Edomites, it's always that fake English fear when Jacob raises up his voice and starts buck dancing and tap dancing with these Edomites to accommodate them and show, oh, I'm a good black person. I'm not uppity, or I don't have an attitude. Well, you Jakes that continue to cling on to this man, to this society, you're about to see real soon how much he loves you. He's putting you down dead in the streets like dogs. That was in the back.
The last week, there also been reports of like these different groups of Proud Boys, neo-Nazis and stuff that they are planning, even with the feds, where they're saying they're planning to attack you Jakes, man, in your neighborhoods, different places that they know that you be at, man. Because when you set up a project or a ghetto, everybody in the major city knows where these places at, man. It's no secret. They know that real quick. You know that them niggas, like out here, you know that Jake be uptown. Just go follow Martin Luther King Street. That's all you gotta do. You gonna run into Jake, man. And they gonna plan a vicious attack on you, nigga. You not ready, man. You worried about getting a 7, smoking a joke,
stimulus
check, and then sit on the porch, eating some poke beans, man. It breaks, man. You know, go ahead.
Hey, they tell you in the scripture with the ghetto, in the urban dictionary, it says that the insignificant places basically pushed into a corner. Like, even the scriptures say, my children shall not be pushed into a corner no more. A ghetto is like a place cornered off. Everybody know where the corner at, man. All right, that way it starting begins with our people, man. Our people are in a corner, which is an insignificant place, which goes into ghetto, man.
Lil Wayne and song called Get Off the Corner.
Get off the corner. That's where you can find Jake at, man. Yeah.
I have never seen a nigga yet slinging that ooh-wee on the goddamn corner of the suburb, man.
Yeah.
The high-end area.
Our people on the corner.
Yeah, I ain't never seen none of that shit, man. It happens. When they pulling up to the spot, go and knock on the door and go get it.
Yeah.
You going about their business, man. But Jake, that's the hoods, man.
All about area codes, man. All right, and those area codes, when you go into a zip code, it's the zonal improvement plan. It's the way they plan to put what? Yeah, and build a what, a project, you know what I'm saying? In order to locate and know where these people's at, man. And the bodegas.
Going back to the 40s and 50s, I read a big article on these projects, how they set up, especially that shit looked like a prison back there in the Ninth Ward. I don't know if you brothers ever been to the Ninth Ward, Zion.
Yeah.
Oh man, that shit was about design. About railroad, all you niggas hoods and maintenance are about railroad tracks, and that's for a reason. That's the culture that's on them FEMA camps, them FEMA trains to them big massive FEMA camps with them gas chambers and shit on that back. No way,
Rex 84, real quick. In that Operation Cable Splicer for the Northern Kingdom.
Gulag. Remember we read that about the Gulag?
And pretty much the work camps, labor camps, forced labor camps.
Even though Call of Duty you start fighting, you get knocked off the board. Like you said, war zone, you get knocked off, you get killed. You guys gotta go, or you get caught, you gotta go to the Gulag. It's a concentration camp. Armed guards. They're telling you niggas what they're planning on doing, you, man. And these games and movies and shit, man.
In the back of what you said, you were talking about how these different Proud Boys and other organizations are planning on coming after you, Jakes. And you posted in the chat a while ago on how this lady had reported to the cops speaking about planning attacks as well on Jakes.
Yeah, because what's going on now too, especially in Houston, both of the Houston PD, police departments, a lot of them went to that damn the Capitol shit. A lot of them went down into the Capitol and tore that motherfucker up.
Yeah.
So you got people that's
police infiltrated.
yeah, you have police. Yeah, you have police that have quote unquote feelings and political thoughts too. So they went down there to tear up shit too. So that's why it lines up with this man, what this brother saying. A lot of these cops are going to get mad, man. And make it look good too. Don't make it look good, man.
One more thing. I was actually in a Uber yesterday getting a ride somewhere, and I was chopping it up with the Uber driver, and he was a Jake. You could just tell by his spirit, but he looked like a white man. And he was telling me that he's like a blues guitar player, and he said still to this day, like bars he goes to and stuff, his family members won't even come to see him because he's playing with black people in his bars, and then people come up and say to him at the Johnson, why are you playing guitar with these niggers? Like just showing that animosity and that hate is still there.
This is Rock 33 and 14. It says good is set against evil and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner and the sinner against the godly.
And as it also says in that chapter, the Most High fashioneth the clay, whichsoever he will. Vessels unto honor and vessels unto dishonor. Some that he liked best and some that he despised. Hey, two mainers of nations in thy womb separated from thy bowels. The good against the evil, the righteous against the wicked. Our spirits cannot jail with their spirits, no matter how badly you coons or you soft Edomites wanted to. There's always going to be that friction and animosity there. That's why everything's tacky in this society, and racial issues are still being talked about to this very day.
It's a gold fix.
A great gold fix.
It says, so look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are 2 and 2, one against the other.
Point blank period. 2 and 2, one against another. Not one with another, not one together with another. One against another. That's why you see situations like Chad Wheeler trying to kill his black girlfriend. These so-called white women or Edomite women making false sexual claims against black men to get them into jail and continue. And they will continue until the kingdom.
All you in them F-250s, wait till you go to the gas station to bust it open, they gonna light your ass up, man.
Hey, in a truck like that.
Yeah. The Edomites, they have money. Get bulletproof tires, get some ceramic, thick plated steel to armor their trucks up, man. Yeah, this shit look like some shit out of, you don't see some hard shit, you don't see shit out here like Mad Max out there, man. You get some heavy artillery on this shit. Full metal jacket, bullets and shit. It's just gonna pierce every goddamn thing, man. All that piercing. These Edomites got armor piercing and shit, man.
Yeah, they ain't shooting with regular bullets
Yeah.
like Jake got. They upgraded.
High
They building
velocity.
their bullets. They building their bullets.
Yeah, I know Edomites that sit there and press all day.
Press all day.
Or they ain't at work Saturday afternoon, and Friday afternoon they got off to work, all the way to then late Sunday night, they have to press the bullets all day. Pressing them bitches. And they building up the arsenal, man.
The gunsmiths too, they do 3D printing to make their own guns,
Yeah.
and then pretty much do
Making
whatever they
them-
want.
Making ARs, because when you make ARs, and AKs, or make a gun period, you don't have to register it. You don't have to register it. This is a gun because you built the gun, you have to register it. This is what these Edomites are into. You got some jakes, including myself, you got jakes that they grew up and they into that shit, they know about it, but you got Edomites, like we into these scriptures, you got Edomites that's into that artillery shit, man.
All these scriptures are our blessing, and they're blessing
Yeah.
that sword.
Yeah.
They the auto fights.
Yeah.
They don't want to build that brass in us. They got control of it. Even the elites got the brass in us. They got all the metals in everything.
Yeah.
They own them.
Army grade shit. Y'all be up there, you niggas be up there on Call of Duty. Where's the fucking, where's the play? Niggas got that, man. It's because you see him out here wearing cotton-free doctors, all right? And sketches on. Don't never underestimate these motherfuckers.
Big money. They got big money.
They go home, they putting it in a whole wall change, man. And they got some shit.
Mitchell Crack and steam comes up.
Hey, like I showed y'all that boy from Canada. Y'all seen when I showed y'all that boy from Canada, right? Hey, man, you look like a nerd, man.
Sounded like a nerd too.
You look like a nerd, man.
Yeah, grenade launcher. He had an RPG.
Literally,
a
man.
rocket-propelled grenade launcher.
That's how nasty it's gonna get. It ain't gonna just, you know, I went to the store the other day and I be laughing. Sometimes I see shit, but I have to laugh at myself because you niggas go through that shit. You go up in academy. Can I get a 22? Y'all got a 22 in here? Bad trouble. You niggas always want a 22, man.
Squirrel shit.
Yeah, man. They got shit. They got shit out there that make it sound like the Lord and took the whole stage. I'm talking about no fucking you niggas up, man.
You get it shoots next to you, and the shockwave makes your eyes go in the skull. That's how
Shit.
that's the power Esau's coming with. And also, you got a lot of these skinheads and neo-Nazis that have joined the army
It's
and
a
these
good training.
these different military branches just to know how to deal with weapons like explosives, ordinances.
They get out.
Do training.
Get an honorable discharge when they get out.
Yeah, purposely.
Purposely,
They got
like.
the training in, and they go back.
Yeah.
They go, 1 or 2 or 3 of them go back, and they go train. They go train Bobby Joe.
And they
go train
sons,
Bill.
yep. All
Yeah.
they, yep.
That motherfucker. They got motherfuckers out here with the mindset, you know. They've been high ranking in the army and shit. They know how to do this shit, man.
Guerrilla and urban warfare. You got average Joe little Edomites out here that are experts at it and just ready to drive a van up into a Jake's neighborhood, leave it there, and then, like the brother said, put in that code and take a whole block party
It's
out.
not gonna be fair. That's all I'm gonna say. You Jakes, it's not gonna be fair, man. The fight is not. You niggas out here with a chopped down stock Draco, thinking you ready to do some shit. They got motherfuckers 9 blocks down the street. Square your shit, man.
Hey, they got tactical classes they do, concealed classes, where it's hard on training. Like, you send me some shit, bro, where they was training, the man was training in that bitch, it was all no walls. They had the whole shit skinned down with everything. They wasn't holding it, no, we getting on with every level. Even with the gun, when you close by, with the knife work and shit, man, they ain't playing, bro. It's full training, bro. All aspects, fighting. I'm talking about a gun like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, with the other hand, hit like and fight. I'm like, man, this on another level, bro.
Disarm your gun, do all
Yeah,
that.
to disarm your gun, like,
I didn't see them. I didn't see
wicked,
them.
bro.
I didn't see Esau train in close quarter. They call it CBQ.
CQC.
Yeah,
Close quarter
CQC.
combat.
Close quarter combat. But he might go around a gun. He grabs him. Do some shit like this.
Yeah, but-
He flips him, but he had a fake knife, one of the fake knife. He stabs her and the knife goes in. But he just grabbed the guy and flipped him. But while he flipped him, he hit him in the neck.
Man,
you
fast
could've
as a motherfucker.
See, you could have been done right there.
Yep.
Jake, heard. That's how you niggas be, man. I'm gonna do this. You ain't gonna get a chance to do none of that shit, man. You don't have a chance to do shit, man. This is gonna be that nasty. We keep telling you, Jakes, man. You women, you got more women out here that bought guns in the last 4 months than men. But niggas gonna take that shit from you, man. You ain't ready for when real land get the spraying right here. You got women. I watched you women at the range and shit before, man.
Coming on nice and dressed up in a jumpsuit with makeup on.
Ooh, it's hot. By the time you blanking when it's all the dust smoke.
Shell case of baby.
Yeah, fall on you. Y'all ain't ready for no shit,
Definitely
man.
not gonna be prepared for the sound that comes from off that country. You don't have no guess. Like a couple of rings of that gun, you're gonna be done.
Yeah, he gonna hit you.
And what are you gonna do when they start hitting you with some shit that's peeling concrete off the wall?
We putting on the vest of this word. Jake out there literally putting a bulletproof vest on.
You can see Jake walk in the streets, trying to look
with
cool
vest
for the vest.
like a vest.
Yeah, it's
Like a designer vest.
A vest is made to protect you. Well, this our blessing.
That's right.
This the only thing that's gonna protect us at the end of the day. We don't glory in guns and weapons and shit. We put our glory in the Lord, which gonna be our hiding place from that covert or that tempest. Because there's gonna be a heavy, hot tempest out here. That covert gonna be nasty, Jake. Jake, you ain't never been in the elements where it's mud, haze rolling, knives getting stuck in people. Jake ain't do that, bro. Jake only fought his brother in a belt fight for 3 minutes. Jake tired as fuck, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. With this Genesis 27 is all
you spray the blunt up, not even looking at the partner, and you just spray it. Hoping to hit some shit and going about your business. What you gonna do when it's a 2-minute gun? That's a long time in a gun battle. It's a long time.
You only got one magazine with you.
Yeah, even some of these, you know, on a lower level, you know, you play these little Call of Duty games, even though you can't look on the side, you like a regular person head and see some shit and you can react to it, but they show you just how fast you can die. You up here killing him, but this guy over here in the window, killing your ass, and that's how it's gonna be that day.
The action fast paced, and it's even fast paced in the world if you haven't trained for that type of stuff, man. You think the shit gonna slow down? You're gonna be able to make every accurate shot? Come on, man, it ain't gonna work that way, man.
Or get the point. I done seen guys, hardest tattoo face niggas.
Fold.
Yeah.
Like a lawn chuck.
When them hollow points and 4 minute jet get the flying and she get the banging, they like this. It's stuck. You gotta, come on, get the fuck. Like, come on.
Real talk, you get locked in and feet stay stuck to the ground, man.
I just saw Jake Fold in a punching match. A dude punching him so hard, Jake like, man, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Well, like, said, bro, it's all good. I was telling me, Trip, what you talking about, man? It's a punching match. And he ain't coming punch, man. He ain't bought up close at all. He coward. He was made coward. All right, so he gonna be what? As far as he can get away, man. You see?
And he gonna be that eagle.
And
One
he
thing you know,
flying
bro,
up high. He gonna get up
fly
high.
high. He gonna make it himself from up high, man.
Yep.
That's just in the nature of these eating mice. They're not gonna deal with you, Jake, combat to combat. They know you, Jake, stronger than you, man.
Yep.
They know you faster than you, but they gonna go to their blessing. They're gonna go high on one of these rooftops. They're gonna set up a perimeter, and they're gonna handle their business.
And barricade their own self in.
Yeah.
And put all their work up there.
He's shooting from like three football field lengths, man.
And one nation shall be stronger than another. As the elder brother said, these Edomites know you outclass them in anything that it comes to physicality. So that's why they're trying with that blessing, that sort of coming to range. As this brother was saying, you Jake's going to come across some Edomites that can lay those hands and put those knives and strike blows.
Once your blessing gone, in any aspect, any eon, once your blessing gone, you the servant. That's it, man. Like, so when his blessing is gone and he don't got power with that gun, what are you going to do then? So if our blessing is gone and you don't got power with the scriptures, what are you going to do, Jake? You see?
You're going to die.
This is the only thing that could get us out of what's to come. All right, this is it.
A lot of you Jakes, you want to stand there wait till all around ran out, make you the sheep up.
Yep.
Chase Road. Yeah, Chase Road. Yeah, Chase Road. You gonna have to wait till shit is down there down to nothing. When motherfuckers out here with sticks, a batch with nails, and it's gonna get back to caveman days in a little bit, man. Motherfuckers gonna get back to knives and shit. No, this ain't no lasting matter. Never play with, man. And they all around you, man. Y'all, this because they working Uber. All right, just because they Uber lifting and all that other crazy shit, Uber Eats, doesn't mean you gotta understand what you have around you. You got past and present military money. You got families that have been trickled down with neo-Nazi skinheads. All right, Aryan Brotherhood. All right, and then like I said, just here in Louisiana alone, the birth of the white supremacy, the birth of what it is. People are claiming was started right here in Denham Springs. It's right from the pond over here in what they call that shit? The North Shore. They here. They ain't Kenner. What you think Kenner?
Bucktown and Metairie.
Yeah, do you understand what Kenner, the high glory of Kenner? Louisiana was all about, man. They locked and loaded, man. These women, hey, the Edomite woman locked and loaded. No? Go ahead.
This is Ephesians 6 and 17. I'm gonna start at 15. I'm gonna start at 14 is all. I gotta start at 13. It says, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore having your loins girded about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace.
I say because when it comes down to these scriptures right here, man, all the things that the brother spoke about with Esau being able to do all these different things that these 2/3 niggas gonna have to worry about, as long as we stick to our blessings, we're not gonna have to worry about those things. Because we know that our power overwhelmingly compasses the blessing that Esau had.
It says, above all that, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High, man. You see, you can't get wrong. I'm going to read that again. And take the helmet of salvation, so when you're putting on your protective gear, all right, to basically go on, approach the evil day, all right, it says a crude man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. You see? So there's the evil day that the Lord promised us would come. You see? But it was a way to prepare for it. So when you're looking at your armor bearer got to be your sword of truth, your shield of faith, all right, your helmet of understanding. You see? Everything is spiritual. It says to take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. You got it out.
Much like Pierce, he wasn't saying anything carnal. He's always dealing with the Spirit and the Scriptures. That's going to be our only hedge of protection at that day. But hey, right now, what are we doing? If it doesn't have to do with the job or anything else, we keep away from these Edomites and other nations as much as we can. We don't even want to be around them. There's nothing there to talk about and nothing there to get along with. But as for you, Jakes, you hard-headed 2/3, you just will not understand until that sword is in your neck and that bullet is right between your eyes.
They hate us. Matter of fact, it said in Genesis 21 and 47, 27 and 41, Salaki. It says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing.
So this is a spiritual hatred.
Yeah.
They got it in their spirits to hate you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans because our forefather got the blessing and the birthright to the kingdom of heaven from him. At the end of the day, it's not about skin color, how big your rod is, how good you are on the basketball court. It's because they know that they're not going to receive that ultimate blessing that their forefather gave up, that they're going into slavery. So they're doing everything they can with the time they've been given to do as much damage and harm to you Jakes as they can.
I done heard both sides too. I done been around Jake. Something happened to them with an Edomite, and they're like, man, why they hate us? They could be crying and shit. Why they hate us? Then you be around the other side, and he might be telling the truth. Like, I just don't know why. I don't know why.
Something comes on me, like.
I don't know. But it's deeply rooted and hardwired. Going back to Genesis. This is why this happened, man. This is beyond us. Right? And every movie, this life is scripted by the Most High. This is like a movie. So it's always a good guy and a good guy. Right? It's always a high and a low of the movie.
Oh, the spirit is so beautiful.
Yeah, the spirit. Look what's coming.
Get him on camera, huh?
Look what's coming. You hear me? Look what's coming. You can't make this up.
Let me get it.
It says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
That's sentiments to this very day. These so-called white people are going to kill you so-called black, Latino, and Native American people when the time comes. Especially you so-called black women that want to croon and tap dance and swirl with
They
it.
will kill their ass. And they
Just
don't
like-
desire women anyway.
Yeah, they desire to beat you like Chad
They
Wheeler
kill
did.
your ass.
It's our name.
Goofy motherfuckers, man.
Yeah. Who finished?
Hashtag swirl fail. But
Got
hey,
them fucking Thundercat ass bees on it. You know the Thundercat man?
Yeah.
lion
Yeah,
nose.
you got them Thundercat ass bees on it. Fucking wigs on their fucking head, man. Look at these crackers, man. Let me get it real fast, man. Yeah, this is, I'm gonna get straight to the point, man. This is Isaiah 13 and 14. And it shall come to pass, it shall be, check it out, the sheep that no man take it up. All right, it says, they shall every man turn to his people and flee every one into his own land.
Hey, the race wars that are coming, as it said, they shall every man turn to his own people and flee every one into his own land. When shit gets desperate and diabolical out here, people are going to revert to that tribal instinct. All this America melting pot bullshit, we are the world is going to fall apart. Just look what happened during those Rodney King riots. You had those Moabites on the roofs, all together. Stick together. If these Edomites are going to do the same, these other nations, these Ishmaelites at the brothers, when there were some riots, they got on the roofs with guns. The only people that aren't going to do it are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, because you're still in that lovey-dovey spirit. So you're going to see exactly what kind of business it's in for in that thing.
Real quick, that's why Esau in the power elites, that's why they set up something called, so everybody can identify who they are, who they belong to. That's why they have something called the law of color. And they set up flags. All right? Everybody has, you notice how every nation has a quote-unquote flag. They don't have a Negroes don't have a flag. Yeah. Everybody has a flag. The colors are set up on that flag to identify who you with. That's why they have a saying. That's why they have a saying. All right. He's showing his true colors, which he just showed. No, you Jake about to find out who you with, man. Who put you?
Hey, they had a movie about some Jakes over in Africa, child soldier brigades, and the movie was called Beasts of No Nation. That's literally what you Jakes are, a beast, because you don't have the troops, so you're just an animal that eats, shits, and fucks out here with no nation.
You basically over here, you just a POW, you prisoner of war. You just around as a,
Yeah, we gotta get that in. You wanna get that in?
Run DMC and got him a new place.
That's a
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah.
I know. It's like Run DMC. Go ahead, now.
Hey, we're gonna get that one anyway. We're gonna get to that. We gotta get to 16.
And it says, everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword.
Everyone that is found with them shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Hey, you Jakes living in these suburbs, but we know Jake likes to live in nice places, but if you're in your right mind, if you're keeping to yourself and not looking to get to know these Edomites and have barbecues and go to their child's birthdays, you're in your mindset that one day I'm gonna have to eat, but that's these Jakes that go to the family barbecues, that go to the mom mitzvah, that go eat cake at the birthday party in that day. Joe down the street, Uncle Joe, he's not gonna help you. He's gonna kick in that door, take your goods, and put you to death. On especially you women. They're gonna walk tie you and have their way with you.
You get captured in that day. Edomites gonna eat you and call your ass up. You're gonna walk the way of the Lord. gonna be up next, man. You know, and it says, 16, their children also should be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished.
Their children shall be dashed to pieces. In them old days of grabbing kids by the ankles, hitting them against the wall, really shooting kids, running over kids, and coming back in a big way. Their houses are going to be spoiled. As it says in 2 Ezra 15, they shall spoil. No man shall have pity upon his neighbor, but shall search their houses with the force of the sword due to lack of bread. When all these resources at these stores are exhausted, hey, these neighborhoods are going to get rifled and shit's going to get taken. And as it says, their wives shall be ravished or raped. Gang rapings, raping and killings, all that shit's coming back in the days we're coming into.
Especially when these neo-Nazis come through. That's all they're about, man. Popping a blue pill and going to town on you niggas, man. You know? And they talk about it all the time, you know? Split. Man, my son did a wonderful work. He's the first one in the family to split black, man. Split. You know what they're talking about, right? You know what they're talking about, right? Yeah, popping a black man. They gonna do it, man. When they coming around, these might come around, all right, with mask, tattoos, their whole eyes blacked out with contacts, all right, with AR-15s and shit, smoke, gas, gas grenades and shit. They gonna get nasty.
Stun grenades.
They gonna get nasty, man. Setting up, talking about doing army signals on you niggas and shit. You gonna learn. They gonna flank you niggas too. You gonna run. They gonna bust you down right here, just run you down the street. You gonna call your ass up down the street, man. Yeah. It's gonna get beyond nasty, man. If the Heavenly Father ain't with you, man, sorry not, man. You better tuck your tail between your ass and your legs, man. Kiss your ass with a bottle.
You ain't gonna have a tail left because they blow that bitch off.
It ain't gonna be about you being a big dog in your hood, because Jake think he the big dog in hood. Man, them bitches ain't gonna play with us.
Who's gonna come at you first?
Man, we coming in there like on the first purge. We coming in that project and flanking from the bottom floor all the way to the top. And we clearing the floor out.
You big dog.
Ain't no house, nothing undone. Poke in your head. Boom, hit you again.
Y'all seen the first purge?
Y'all saw the first purge, right?
You see the first purge?
Yeah, coming to the project
That's how they
field.
do it, man.
Flow by flow, flanking. Go.
The Lord even said that. The Lord said, when they siege the hood, he said they're not gonna leave one stone unturned.
Yeah, one stone.
They're checking everything.
Lay you and your children.
Yeah.
Well, that's the Lord checking. Checking to make sure you dead, right?
Because you gotta think about it. Each son know exactly what y'all have, man. He know how much money you make. He know what guns he allowed to go
He
into
watch
the
you all
hood.
day.
Right? He have a tab on you niggas, man.
Right?
You know?
You know exactly where you live, your whole routine, going to work, the time you go to sleep. When you wake up, because it's a go fix. We only go where our people go. Like, we don't be uptown where the Edomites are. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know that they got a pack mentality. They're going to pack them in one spot where they people at, And we do that by default. That's because it's a go fix. We're supposed to go fix with us. We don't got the same characteristics. We don't like the same thing.
They don't even like Jake, but just because they do the same thing and they enjoy the same shit, they'll just go.
Jake that don't like Jake still go around each other to kill each other. Like, they still wouldn't go around their enemies. They'll stay around their frenemies, which is their own people. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't got no reason to go around the white people.
Yeah.
It's like you niggas, you love the Saints and shit. Gail Benson ain't around you niggas. Sean Payton still on the North Shore.
Yeah. Where you stay?
Still on the North Shore.
Yeah.
Gated community.
You don't stay around you there, man. Hey, when the Saints players get their money, they get their money to white Catholic schools and shit. Gail Benson give her money to Catholic schools, white Catholic schools. You niggas be the first one to go to bat. Drew Brees gets a fucking cracker. That nigga is a racist motherfucker. They protect their own. Just like on the when it was old algaes and how it wasn't uprooted how it is today, when everything broke, when society fell apart, them Edomites over there stuck together, man. They literally broke the river, they literally cut down trees and blocked the streets off, and they set up in windows and shit. Anything brought under the ground, put it back, coming through there, he was dead.
And brag about it too. When those jakes were trying to get to the ferry throughout years, you had Edomites saying, hey, my husband, he never knew what the term nigger meant until he got down here. And that Edomite had a look on his face like, oh, it was like shooting pheasants up north.
Jake did videos saying how he just feel his arm shocking and shit like they was shooting him getting on the ferry. Jake like, you know, I'm just walking by the ferry, my arm just popped up like, this all of a sudden he getting shot in his ass and shit. He gotta run off the block, man. He had to run, you know, through the block, man. So, you know, that's what your proof, man.
They were calling them vigilantes and shit.
Yup.
These Edomites gonna band together. They could be from two social groups. They could be a rich Edomite. They could be a magazine that Edomite. And that day, on the way to survive, they're gonna come together to take out you. Because you be with the shit, man. So in order to take, they're gonna take you down, man. Like you were saying with the project. They don't give a fuck. How many he coming for him first to be him first.
Yep. To break the buck.
Yeah.
It's like breaking the buck. Yep.
That's a
Breaking the
term.
strong man.
Even in the military, that's a term. If you take out the general, everybody else, the soldiers,
You found a way.
you gonna scramble them, man. They gonna know, they ain't have no calls, they ain't gonna know what to do. Take out the leader first, man. Nigga that's pointing his fingers, making all of the, you get his ass. Man. Everything else gonna come. Take out the head of the snake. You got something?
Every nation shall flee to their kind. Like, you know, every nation gonna go be a racist, man.
It's Mark 3:27. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods except he will first bind the strong man. And then he will spoil his house.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good, real good.
Yeah.
And that shows you that the all right, the mindset of Esau is on that. The bind the strong man. Whoever the strong man of any world nation, all right, any local city, they're gonna get them first, man. And everybody else is gonna fall in. They've been doing it for years. Even in the so-called drug trade, all right. Even Rabbi Finkelstein said, we build drug dealers. We build these niggas up. We get them up to the heights where we want them at, and then we chop them down. And once we chop them down, we start a new one over, man. We the wholesalers of everything. We know about these cats. We know about these cats, man. No, go ahead.
Hey, it's like they said, it's like Wesley Snipes said New Jack City. Ain't no Uzis made in Harlem. This is big business. This is the American way.
God.
You telling the truth?
That they ain't made it home. You know? They not. So how they get it?
Hey, from one of them trains that just happened to stop out with a train car full of ammunition and hand grenades.
He's gonna do it
They're
again.
gonna do it again.
In order to take down you Edomites, you best believe, man, you better bet your bottom dollar. He's talking about put crates of guns. It's like he put crates of bricks. Yeah. He's talking about George Floyd's
Protesters, yeah.
He's gonna put high military grade ammunition and things that you did in the neighborhood to take down Esau.
Hey, they did it in the first purge.
Yeah.
They found like level 3 ordnance today.
Yeah, he said, man, he said, you only find this shit with Blackwater and shit. Shit like this. This is gonna get nasty up here, man.
They got videos catching Edomites in cabs and shit, stopping, putting rocks and shit like, you know, in certain places.
handing them
She
aid.
did a video like, look at this. They getting out of, what's handing Jake rocks?
Give it to him.
Go ahead, bust the window. Like, you know, like, all out kill. It's all agenda.
I support you.
A scheme for a scheme, yeah.
Man, and like I said, even down here, I'm about to shut it down a little bit. Even when we go out here, there's no reason that I always got that food on. You know, these are these paying motherfuckers off to go do shit. Right, you thinking it's late at night, a van right here, he's doing construction on the ground. This motherfucker is setting up explosives and shit. Setting up gas to take your ass up, man.
Sir, but they did work on the bridge, and the bridge roads was already straight. They broke all the roads up again. Like, what? It had no bumps in it, bro. Out there on 310, you know, going back there where the refineries at. Nothing was wrong with the bridge. I've been riding it the last 6 years, every day. Nothing was wrong with the road. They broke the road up. I'm like, what the fuck? And notice a lot of construction, because I drive trucks, it's always on bridges. Like, it's always on bridges. They're not reconstructing the foundation. They just reconstructed a mile radius, like, you know, like a certain part to a certain part. Like you said, there's a lot going on.
That's why you Jake don't know.
Pay attention to that shit.
Esau's all about analytics and numbers. That's why Jake, you don't know if you pass down the street now, certain streets, certain roadways and highways, they got a cord going across the street.
I saw that. Yeah,
that's just to count how many people going through this way.
Oh, that's crazy. I'm going across the last year. Right.
You rolling on the street, like it seems a ping to a counter that's in the box. Show you how many people in this day pass up and down the street.
I just start saying that.
Yeah. They making these streets wider so tanks and Humvees get through, man. Because a tank is what, about 8 to 9 feet wide a little bit. It's a big motherfucker. And Humvees and shit, even these new aircraft, they making this shit wide, so these trucks and Humvees and tanks, they gonna put these tanks and shit out here, man.
It's the only thing the I-10 and the interstates are made for is for military travel.
Yeah. And they gonna, a lot of that shit, they gonna implode this shit, man. Like that Pontchartrain River. Oh, fuck that. They gonna make it hard. They gonna make it that easy for you to get across to this side. They gonna implode this shit. Especially in New Orleans. New Orleans ain't nothing but a big ass island, man. It's a big fucking island, right?
Remember I was crossing over in Mississippi, and they had the special boat team with them just shooting into the woods. They had a machine gun on a boat just shooting into the woods. Nobody went in the woods. It was like a training course or class, assimilation. Like for jakes that think they're gonna get in their boats and shit. Even you Edomites that think you're gonna get in your boats once they lock these cities down and think you're gonna stroll off. They gonna stroll in the water, man.
Especially you Edomites in the Cajun time. In the Thibodeau,
Yeah.
You gonna be all that back there with the speedboats.
Speedboats,
They'll come napalm all that shit. Droning. Cruise missiles, man.
Put sea mines in the wall.
Yeah, man, they're gonna take, because even under the FEMA executive orders, you can look this up, FEMA executive orders. When you look, they'll tell you everything going on, the waterways, the highways, even your fucking car that you own, so-called own and pay for, it now become property of the United States government. Because you niggas don't know a goddamn thing. That's why when you register your license, register your car each year to go get a diagnostic on it, you don't even know the word register means, man. Register, you haven't given a person full ownership to look into your shit, look into you. That's all you're doing with your car, man. That's all, like I told you before, that's all the hospitals are doing. You run to the hospital, listen to your heart, all your ears, all back here, you're just getting a diagnostic of their problem. Oh, he got a good heart, he got a good lungs, breathing good, just had a little cold. And they document that shit on you. No, they're gonna ask you,
And we need your organs when you die.
it's all about this. It's all
Tell you
about
where you
numbers.
die.
It's all about numbers. It's all about analytics. Running surveys and you niggas. It's like, remember I told you, y'all probably remember like 2 years ago, so all of a sudden, they had a pop-up gun rally, not a gun rally, but they had a pop-up gun sale.
A gun sale right by your house.
It was a gun sale, it was like
Trade guns.
Yeah,
Trade your guns in for money.
$100 Walmart card.
And tell them where it was at. In the worst hood, in the hood of hoods, man. In New Orleans, man.
You had lines 4 blocks down the street.
They ain't know what was
They
going
ran
on.
out of money.
They ran out of money.
Ran out of money, man.
Yeah.
I was in all the major cities. I was in all the major cities.
Gun costs $1,000, but you gonna trade in for $100 Walmart card.
$100,
This is
yeah.
crazy. They doing you just like man, this probably be going into German history. What do you mean about German German? You need to come and get the gun, give them back, and then when they come in, you ain't got shit to fight.
Just roll you over like a damn steamroller. And they got a lot of these tactics from the Nazis, like the whole I-10 being for military transport. The fucking Nazis did that first. They created the Autobahn so they could move their tanks back and forth.
Hey, that's an auto walk to neutralize your opponent, right? That's the what? Take all their weaponry away. You neutralize.
I was saying that's one thing that he get into very much so. You know, strategically strategizing things, calculating things right before he even like 2-3 months ahead, man. Years ahead, already everything.
That's why he deal with analytics. The numbers ain't lying. So that's why he like, look, we need something that's for assurance. Why you think they take on census, man? You know, like, look, so we could get a what? A head count. A census just a head count for when we blitz this bitch. We need to know how much armor we need, bullets, you know, different type of ammo, you know, like different weapons. For what? To overtake them, man. You see?
That's why they come to a cause every day. They come to a cause. 25,000 people in a day's time traveling on the playground.
Yeah.
We need to set up. We need to set up a barricade over to stop this many people. This man is real strategic. He ain't good shit.
Yeah.
That big brother shit watching all these cameras. Now, just in the world alone. This is get a tank, a major tank right off on your company. They do now. They give the police department access to the cameras. Meaning they can tap in. This is gonna watch some shit. This is gonna watch what's going on. They have access to the cameras and shit, man. Yep. He like him. Over that. He don't know what the fuck going on, man. They gonna whip him out that goddamn leather jacket, man. Tear his ass up, you know? That's why this people that want to see this shit's like Mad Men. These niggas gonna be like, I'm talking about real. You ever seen a bad man?
Hey, that's why back to Elder, the exact thing is, just how they calculate and go about their being strategic, we ought to calculate the scriptures and be strategic with the skills in the scriptures. That's why the Lord gave us wisdom, so we could be skilled on how to move, not to run with crowd. Be a great man. Blend in, get out. Don't look too obvious, right? So these are characteristics of the scriptures that tell you how to move in that day. This Sirach 1:19. Wisdom rained down skill and knowledge of understanding, and exalted them to honor that hold her fast. So wisdom gonna rain down your skill in that day, which gonna basically stabilize you, according to Isaiah 33:6. That's gonna be your way to escape the evil day, in the evil days, according to wisdom. Yep, the stability. See? Well, you got it.
This second Ezra 16:7. It says, but there shall be in every place and in the next city a great inspiration on those that fear the Lord.
Those that fear the Lord. Verse 7, the elected nation of Israel, there's no 2/3 to an extent, because even though you're wicked, you still believe in God, and when things happen to you, you'll get praises. So there's about to be a great insurrection, not just a domestic, but foreign troops. Look at all these bills that are getting passed by Joe Biden. Hey, FEMA getting ready to activate the military, the National Guard to help distribute the vaccine. Biden giving over control of the U.S. power grid over to China. Chinese soldiers learning how to speak English for what? For when they come over here and start putting that business and laying down the law during the state of martial law. They're already over. Yeah,
They own the land.
They're here. The Russians are here.
They're here.
Mercenary forces are
They're
here.
here.
They're just waiting to get the phone call to get activated.
Blitz, man.
There's military bases in every city in America.
Yeah.
You know? Or if they're not in a certain town, they're right up the road, man.
Like over there, you understand, Belichick, this is a big military base.
Based on their active liberatory.
You know?
Yeah.
It's shit here.
Yeah.
Back in, make sure reserves over there, man.
The federal building too, right next to it. Yeah.
FBI building down the street, man. It look like you know, the FBI building.
Yeah, they don't know that.
You pass up like all the jakes we had, but you don't know when you go around, you make that fat turn about. The FBI building right off the side.
They got to just own it. They got no right there in J Hub.
And like we were talking about when we were driving on the interstate, all these different truck lane stations, all these little booths on the side of the street. That's when they switched over to military time. Those are going to become checkpoints.
A lot of you jackasses, what you gonna do? You gonna jump through clown ass on those main roads. You gonna sleep up for days at a time. A lot of you gonna die in your car.
Get picked off.
Yeah, a lot of you gonna get. It's gonna be cars, doors open, left for days, people in them, all that shit, man. And it, like they tell you, the ones that travel the main roads are dead, man. You don't even know. How do you niggas just driving these cars? You be giving me a fucking headache. You don't even know your own city. You don't know the back streets and how to get around. It's like for her, this same Pine Drive. St. Charles Street is all jacked up. You don't know how to get from that side of Chapatulas to this side.
They don't know the streets.
You don't know the streets, man. You better get to know. You better start looking at your waterways, the sewer lines. You might be in the fucking sewer. Hey, this sewer lines and shit. Like, you might need to get down there.
And them sewer lines travel far as them. They travel through the whole city.
Yeah, you might have to get. Hey man, you might need to get acquainted with that shit. Are you jigs, are you women ready to get down in the fucking sewer with big ass boots your past?
Yeah.
You know, about the size of this goddamn book, man. Spiders, rats,
Other crazy
baby, little alligators and shit. Are you ready to get? It's gonna get nasty, man. Snakes, big fucking snakes. This thick, man. They're brown. Are you ready for that? Cause you gonna get out. Hey, you gonna learn to get out of that motherfucking little timid ass playboy spirit, man. The most I gonna show you. You're a player. The most I gonna show you teach them, man.
Yeah, another thing with them former troops, they don't know the landmass. So what they have to do is stay on what, like the checkpoints, the main roads. They don't know it as in the back roads like that. That's who live there. They know their terrain. You're supposed to know your terrain better than your enemy who come on it.
Before Katrina, man, we could be uptown. We could be tearing the police ass up, right behind us and shit.
Back streets and shit.
The back streets, yeah, especially the project. Once we get the project,
That's it. You can hallway jumping this, yeah, it's over. You don't know this better than me. You don't know it better than me.
You know Miss Barra ain't always keep the door. You just sleep in there. How you doing, Miss
Sleep in
Barra?
there.
You got something to eat? You can hit a
For
fire
real.
police.
You can work back. Fact, bro.
Oh, what's going on out there? You all right?
Get that.
You be back there.
All right.
Oh no, I ain't got no clue. Ain't nobody up here. So they gonna buy his weight, man.
Yeah, dude, that's
Hey,
nah,
done
they
this shit.
did that shit.
Ain't no way nobody man to come in your fucking your place is always better than you, man. It's like if a thief is coming to your house, you're supposed to know your house better than anybody.
Yeah, right.
Either by purpose of mirrors down the hallway, mirror on this, so when somebody come to your shit, I look at that mirror, but it's right here by the wall. You know your house better than any fucking body. You know what shit did at. You know everything. Alright? Same thing with this shit. I know this motherfucking place is like the back of my head.
Yeah, I can get around with you.
You know? Buildings and shit, man. You gotta start looking deep into this shit, man. Even I'm gonna say this. Even tapping into your enemy. I know where these Edomites like to hang at. I know where these Edomites like to operate and do shit at. Just like we go back out here to Michigan. I know them goats. That's a little section with only goose at.
Yeah, that's what they at.
Right? Then you got Shell Met with all these crackhead, methead, fucking crack. You know what you're dealing with.
You know, you gotta know that. Your terrain. You gotta
Right,
know
so
what
when
you're running
if I
into.
go that way, I'm gonna be they're gonna be what they call it, tweaking withdrawals.
Yeah.
I gotta get through the east, them wild desperado niggas out there.
Yeah.
You gotta know what you're dealing with. In the areas you're dealing with, man. That's why even what's your boy? Denzel Washington. Boogie Eli. He went out there bitch with those big ass medallions and fucking Dolce & Gabbana shoes. He was in that business playing working basketball. He wanted to do that one day. Blend in. Even work on it now. Work on blending in. You should be able to go into a mall. Nobody really notices like
Not a
that.
head turn.
Yeah.
And even on John Wick, you remember the man who was standing like he was a bum? And John Wick ran by him and he shot it. They whole day, they networked in all kind of ways. With the birds, there was bombs in the subway. but they had a whole organization going on.
Yeah,
You'll
man.
walk past them and throw them a quarter. He a whole killer, a trained killer, man. Assassin,
Like that
man.
now.
Yeah, it's like that now, man. He a whole assassin, man.
Like this cat right here, he might be working for. You see, he might work for IWI. He might work for like Israeli.
IDF, Israeli Defense Force.
They got just ride a bike to get.
Right, yeah. And gather intel with a little camera on it. Yeah, just catching shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, come on, tell bro.
Then you better get your ass off the game and find out what's going on around here. Go look at some shit. See how. Why is they painting the streets up and making it wider? What? You know? Hey man, the law requires to have understanding of all things, big or small, man. We don't be ignorant of no matter, man. It has to happen. You gotta do it in order to basically survive, man. If other matters, you got to know these things, man. You have to know these things.
That's another form of depending on the Lord, man. Getting tapping into all these different things, that wisdom, it expands wide, man. You know, the Heavenly Father has set for us to get into all different type of things, especially being around, you know, the bros, you know, helping us understand how much we can go within this wisdom and knowledge, man.
Because sometimes brothers might drop some information on you, like, man, I didn't know they were do that shit.
Right,
You know? Yeah, different brothers, man, be dropping shit. You know, myself, drop shit, you be like, whoa, what the fuck? I ain't know that was going on. I ain't know they was doing that shit. You know, like one day, yeah, a brother around, he was talking about Jake be busting a gun and that down. Look at the shit, oh, you don't want to do that shit. They literally have,
What goes up must come down.
no, but we were talking about they have
got
these
systems set
oh,
up.
they got systems, sound systems set up around his whole city. They know the difference between car backfire, tire blown up from a gunshot. They know where, just you look at it, they know what type of gun it is, they know the caliber it is. They're wrong all throughout the city, man. All throughout the city. You know? You looking at me, now I'm looking at you. Go ahead.
He said, I don't know. He said, I don't.
Go ahead, now.
They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord.
Those madmen are foreign troops, mercenaries, domestic troops, hey, especially these Edomites in that day that are gonna fully utilize that hatred, and they're blessing that sword on you Jakes, you 2/3 recruits that don't want to take yourself out of this system. Hey, this is here.
All that salt, you got 1 grain of pepper in that bitch every time.
Of course.
Every time, man.
Looking like a Christmas ham.
They gonna hang Jake and that be skinning, eating. They might eat it for a whole week. See why he just found us today, yo.
Yeah, perfect example right there.
Kneecaps, shins, the ball. Jake with it coming out of line, now
Get out.
oh, get out, yeah.
Burning neck eyes. Big burning neck eyes. No? No.
Like a kid that walks into the middle of a movie. Don't know what's
Who got the party was like this? The other one don't get out. When he flashed him, and he started going, man, I would have got the fuck.
bringing out the lessons from that day. Women being bedwitches walking by the Edomites, with Jake being a queen walking by. And we see it continue until all hell breaks loose. Even Jake's gonna still try to cleave unto you. What does it say? Then that joint unto him shall be thrust through, then that joint in shall be cast down by the sword. Why? Because there's that perpetual gulf fixed between the nation of Israel and the nation of Esau, Edom.
Right.
Actually, give me 35 minutes. You just read verse 5.
This is Ezekiel 35 and 5. It says, therefore, thus says the Lord. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, and the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had begun.
You go to verse 2, it's talking about prophesying against Mount Seir. Just as Jerusalem is a people before it's in place, Mount Seir is a people before it's in place. So this is talking about the nation of Edom. It said in verse 5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. And when you go into that word, it means never ending, from the past, the present, to the future, from antiquities, for eternity. Hey, the days of mourning for my father at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. That sentiment's been there even before them, with Cain and Abel, even with the serpent in the garden. And it's no different than today. 2/3 are going to learn the hard way when Esau comes down like that great flood of destruction to kill you off, because you don't know what times you're living in. Times of the end, times before the kingdom of heaven is ushered in, the times of Jacob's trouble. As it says in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, there's a time for love, and there's a time for hate. There's a time to live, there's a time to kill. There's a time for peace, and a time for war. And all the negatives right now. So you should be preparing yourself accordingly for the times to come, if you have the ears and the eyes to hear and receive this word. So with that, we hope this pre-camp lesson was edifying. And again, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
double honors to the apostles and elders and great millstone who rule and teach them. And peace and salutations to you sincere Aki Outfit. May you brothers endure until the end. Shalom.
Wow.